watching. I'm Naphtali, also known as Benji, and in this video we'll be connecting with the energy of Joseph of the Gospel. Now, his energy has been present with me for the last few days, but since connecting with his energy, I've realised that his energy has been with me my whole lifetime. Not just my whole lifetime, but even before this lifetime. Now, I did go out to the park today and I began recording, and I didn't go out intending to film a connection with Joseph. However, his energy did step forward and I began pulling guidance and began pulling information. And then when I got home, I decided that I'm going to take down the video and redo it. Just because I feel like, really, if I'm being honest, it was like my egoic mind kind of stepping in and saying, basically just trying to steer me from expressing my truth, really. So then I thought I would redo the video anyway, because I felt like I need to give him the respect that he deserved. Not that I wasn't respecting him or being disrespectful, I just felt that I needed to sit down and really get in tune with his energy, as when I did the previous video, I was out and I was walking in nature, as I sometimes do, and I get guidance when I am doing that. It's like being in nature and walking at the same time. It's like, it puts me in a meditative state. But anyway, let's talk a bit more about Joseph and how his connection, his energy was made present to me. About, I think it was 2-3 days ago, Amanda Ellis, who is a spiritual teacher on YouTube, she uploaded a video and she was bringing forward messages from Joseph. And then last night I was in this very same room, the living room, and at night I like to listen to music, connect with my guides, dance with them, my guides, my spirit team, invite them to just be present with me. And we have mirrors in the passage, and I'm able to see from looking through those mirrors in the passage into the kitchen. And I kept seeing somebody walk past, back and forward in the kitchen, at the peripheral vision of my eye. And every time I looked, obviously it was moving, but I got this sense to walk into the space, because it was like, if I walk in, I'm going to be able to feel the energy that is in there. And as I walked in, the name Joseph came to me. And then again, my egoic mind was saying to me that that's not him, it's not Joseph. And then when I was in there in the kitchen, I remember a clip from Amanda Ellis's video came to mind, and she was saying that the energy that she was feeling was in a state of it's like a complete lack of ego. But it was weird that with my connection with him, I've been full of ego, like full of ego in terms of convincing myself that it's not him, when the whole point of like working with energy is just to trust your instincts. So I thought that was interesting. And then also I was getting like the fact that he wasn't appearing like vividly, the fact that he was in another room and going back and forward, being more subtle. I thought that was like a mischievous energy. I realised it wasn't a mischievous energy now from going out to the park and connecting with him, but I felt like it was a mischievous energy. And again, I was questioning myself, like, well, does being mischievous and like the not having an ego, do they correlate? It's like I was just doing way too much questioning. It's almost like, because he's somebody that is seen as is part of the gospel, it's like I was telling myself that I can't connect with him, I don't have the kind of right or the authority or whatever. But then, so anyway, I was at the park, and let's see if I can remember any of the few things that came through. So I remember that he mentioned names, and we are going to connect with him again. He mentioned names, and what he was saying was that yes, names are important, but they're also not important. And he was making me aware that of my name, because I remember he was saying that that his name also has a lot to do with strength. His name gave him strength. And again, this was one of the reasons why I took down the video, because after doing the connection, I decided to search his name up, and I couldn't find anywhere that it mentioned anything to do with strength. So then my egoic mind was like, no, see, people are not gonna trust your guidance. People are not gonna listen to what's coming forward. And then I ended up pulling cards from the Kyle Gray Keepers of Light deck when I got home, just to confirm that I should upload the video, or that I should keep the video up. And the card that jumped out was Mother Mary, which made complete sense, seems as we're talking about the energy of Joseph and connected with the energy of Joseph. And what it says is, let go of the need to be right, choose peace, mother healing is possible this time. So I thought that was definitely confirmation of me to just really stop procrastinating, stop worrying about exactly being right, because, and again, this card is all about as well, that in the not being right provides a more of an opportunity for others to come in and maybe explore the truth again, if that makes sense. The other card that also came out was Commander Ashtar, call to action, take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. So again, and this card was also about the egoic mind as well, about not basically allowing your egos, your fear to kind of dictate what you do, and basically going ahead, because it's like, just express your truth. And then as I was in this room connecting and pulling these cards for confirmation, I began to receive downloads about Joseph again, and that this connection that me and him have is something that I signed up for basically before coming to Earth in this lifetime. And then the reason why this next card is significant, because literally as this guidance was coming in and I was having a conversation with everything on the inside of me, it was like I was having a back and forth conversation with like my higher self, Joseph, and just energy itself. And I was saying that it was like, I'm sorry, I know, let me just say it. Basically, I was saying it, my higher self was saying to me, it's like what happened with Gaia, because Gaia is one of my guides as well. It's that you signed a contract to work with them to bring certain messages, bring forward truth, and so on. And then this card dropped out, Gaia, confirmation that that this is definitely part of my mission, my divine mission. And it was like Joseph and Gaia and Roger, they are my main guides. And I feel like I'm going to come into kind of contact, and I can feel my spine tingling right now at the top. And it feels like, yeah, sorry, those three are my main guides. And with Roger and Gaia, I signed up to do this work with them before I came to Earth. Sorry, with Joseph and Gaia, I signed up to do this work before I came here to Earth. And also, another big sign, which I didn't realise today, was that, obviously I knew this, but I didn't realise, I didn't put the two and two together, is that my middle name is Joseph. And the funny thing is, I was getting flashbacks today of when I was in school. For some reason, I wasn't able to spell Joseph, and it's my name. It was like one of the last things I learned to do in, I think I was in like year 4. That I just remember vividly not being able to spell Joseph for some reason. And the reason why that's coming up is because things happen in our childhood for like times of now, for us to go back and reflect, oh my God, that was a sign, that was always there. I've always been led on this journey, if that makes sense. It's like with Gaia, once I realised that Gaia was one of my guides, then I was able to see all the synchronicities that had occurred before that. Like if it was just a billboard of Earth, or just little signs that this was my guide. And it's the same with Joseph. I was starting to get flashbacks of him, not him, but times of my human experience on Earth and how that relates to him and my divine mission. So yeah, so let's go back to the names. So he was saying that names are very important, but they're also not important. They're also very insignificant. the reason why that came up was because he was giving me a message based on about me focusing on mediumship, and he was basically letting me know that I can connect with energy, and that's the most important part, is the connection to energy, the names and the dates, because I'm a person that when I do these readings or when I do readings with people, I want to be able to give them the specific names of their loved one or the specific dates. And he was saying to me that those things tend to become distractions. And he was saying to me that when it comes to the work that I do, it's more about the emotional content, it's more about the psychological content, it's more about the physical health of the person, rather than giving them the name of their loved one, because that overshadows the healing. There's something to do with it overshadowing, and I kind of understood what he was saying, because even when I've had a reading from a spiritualist or from a medium, it's that yes, they tell you a lot of truth, and they tell you about things that happen with relationships or just things that have happened that have affected you that you're healing from, and then when they say a name, it's like, oh my god, wow, yes, that becomes the main focus. So I completely understood what he was saying, that the names and those kind of things are not important, they're shallow things. But then he was saying that it's also on another scale of being highly significant, highly important. He was telling me to look at my own name, and at the time I didn't realise, obviously, yes, he was also talking about the middle name Joseph, but also, besides the Joseph part, he was saying that I understand that names are one, important, one, very significant, and two, very insignificant. He's saying that the fact that let me explain. Basically, I have a birth name, which is, Benjamin, but many people call me Benji or Ben. Well, people from school call me Ben, but majority of family and people who know me today as Benji call me Benji. But for my spiritual work, Naphtali felt right. It was the name for me. I'll explain that in the future. However, and then he was saying that yes, I chose to go by Naphtali for spiritual work, and then he was saying that even for your music, you are thinking about not changing, but having a different name for your music. And he was saying because names have connotations, and right now I'm getting also labels have connotations, and it's very important what we choose to kind of go by. And also it's also important to understand that your name is at some level also meaningless. And he gave me the analogy of my crown chakra is tingling. I feel like he wants to come in and step in and say something, but I just feel like I need to get some of the messages from the other video out first. And he was saying that if you call a child hope or blessing, that sometimes that child can kind of embody those energies. And he was saying it's the same with nicknames. If you have a name that is Benji, or say that you just have a different name and people have the connotation of you of being shy, when you just go by that name, you embody those qualities that they associate with that name, if that makes sense. I'm trying to go back to the videos, and but really I should just let him come in and say what he has to say. Oh, I'm sorry. See, just as I was literally about, it's like he gave me a prompt, and he was giving me the Return of the Light. In the video that I did, I mentioned that he was giving me guidance, and he was saying that it's the return of the light, it's the return to the light. But what he was saying that it's not the return to the light or the return of the light in terms of something coming here. It's more so as returning to our divine selves, our light selves, because we are beings of light. And then what I found shocking was that after when I was editing that video, I thought, let me go on Amanda Ellis's channel and just see. I don't know why, I just thought, let me just type in that video, see when it actually was, how long ago it was. And then obviously I think it said it was 2 days, and then the title was what shocked me. It said Return of the Light, and that was the exact phrase that he gave me I think it was the exact phrase. It was I either said the Return of the Light or Return to the Light, but either way it was just so similar. I thought, okay, definitely this is significant. But yes, it was more about us returning to ourselves, our light selves, our divine selves. And then throughout the day after that, I've just been receiving so many different kind of downloads, so many different messages, and one thing that came through was about the donkey. Now, I just have to give what energy gives me, and I'm just going to be honest. After I received this download, I searched up to see if I could find anything on it, and it says that in somewhere I saw on the internet, it said that the Bible doesn't actually mention that they travelled to Bethlehem by donkey, Mary and Joseph. Really, one could assume that they walked. Now, what came to me was that that I was forgetting about the donkey. I'm not giving the donkey its respect. Now, then what happened was that I was told that my mind quickly shifted to nursery rhymes, and that when children sing the nursery rhyme to do with, I'm trying to remember it. There's a nursery rhyme and the lyrics are that Mary and Joseph, or Mary's on the back of Joseph riding to Bethlehem. I can't remember the rhythm of the song for some reason, but it was that the message that came through was that when the children sing those songs, it sends them energy for their journey to Bethlehem. Now, my mind was a bit blown because I didn't understand that. And then what I got was that at some level, all timelines exist, and things in the future most definitely can affect the past, and things in the past can affect the future and the present moment, and it all happens simultaneously. And it's like, by the children singing these songs, it's like somehow energy goes to the past, and it's not that it's the past, because again, all timelines exist together, but this is just how we refer to things because we're here. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's like the energy goes to the past and gives them strength and energy for their journey. But then it was like, for some reason I got it wasn't a donkey, it was a llama. But I don't even know if llamas are in that region of the world, but that's what came, and I didn't know if it was like a significance of, like, if the llama was significant. But then it was that it doesn't really, again, it was say the message of the names, the titles and those kind of things, the specifics of this animal is not important, whether it was real or not. And I was being told I need to read in between the lines, and one of these cards actually do signify reading in between the lines, and that's what I wasn't doing enough. And when I read in between the lines, it was like the donkey symbolized the journey, if that makes sense. The donkey isn't necessarily the way that they necessarily got there. The donkey was the symbol, like it was symbolic somehow. Somehow the donkey is symbolic of their journey. And when they sing the song about the donkey at school, at nursery or wherever, in assembly, energy is sent to them for their journey. And then I was getting that recently, which made sense because of COVID and stuff and kids being out of school, that, and obviously it's not Christmas, but there's this sense of also like, okay, I don't know why, but I'm zoning in on this box, and it's like she's saying it's been years that, like, I just feel like the journey to Bethlehem's got tougher for them. And it's weird because it's like, I'm receiving these messages of, if I can actually feel them going there, I can see them going there, I'm being shown them actually going there, like they're still going there. And again, that's because all timelines exist. That's what I'm getting. It's because all timelines still exist. And if I was to go back in time, if I was able to time travel and go back in time, I would still be living in a present moment. But to my current self, that would be going to the past. But if when I'm in the past, I'm just in the present moment. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm being reminded of the things that were said in the video. And another thing was that when it comes to this return of the light, or when we are returning to our light selves, that for some reason, oh, okay, because now things are adding up. He was showing me that the return of the light isn't necessarily just a smooth transition or a smooth process. Leaders, it's hard because when I channel or when I'm connecting with energy, it's like they show me things that, it's like my whole life is signs and symbols, and sometimes I don't realise that it's signs and symbols until I'm sat down doing a connection, and then I start seeing things that I've watched or things are being shown to me that connect and make sense. And I was watching a video on the monarchy of Great Britain and how they're not those that are in the royal family now are not the rightful people in there. And I'm being shown again, like when it's like I'm being told when the main faces of our current experience, 2121 as I just looked up, when those faces change, that's when the truth is revealed. When certain people are removed from their positions, that's when the world realises that it's truly a game. And anything's possible. It's that when there is, okay, I'm getting that. And before, it wasn't solely specifically based on the monarchy. They was telling me like the government as well. But now I'm just being zoned in on the monarchy, and it's like if and when the monarchy does change, that because of the reasons why it's going to change, it's going to let people realise how false the system really is, and how we really can create whatever reality we want, because we've been living a false reality based on being ruled by people who weren't meant to rule, if that makes sense. Okay. I feel like I should probably bring forward his energy and allow him to come in and see what he has to say. And see, sometimes I do doubt myself, because it's like before I got into doing this and things happening so quickly, it used to feel like it's so hard to connect, or not so hard, but it just took a bit more time. And now as soon as I close my eyes, I feel like I feel the message come straight in. And what I got, he was apologising to me. He was saying sorry that he was saying that I've been, I don't want to say it because it doesn't sound good. But I'm just going to say, I just have to be truthful. He was saying like, it was a very quick message, but when you feel things intensely, he was apologising, and he was saying that like this task, or not this task, but the work that I've been given, it didn't say it can be, he said it's a burden. And he was saying, just like for Jesus, it's like it was a burden for him too. And it's not that he didn't want to fulfill his divine role, it's more so that although you are a physical embodiment of light, that sometimes that doesn't stop darkness being thrown your way. It's almost like the lighter you are, the more darkness comes your way. It's like he's saying be prepared, and I can see him putting on like boxing gloves, and I don't know whether that means that this video may get like a lot of critique, but it's like he's telling me to get ready or be prepared. Okay, let's see. saying that times are changing, but more importantly, it's like it's time for us to take control. And he's going back to names and what we choose for ourselves. And when I was out, he just brought me back to this. When I was out filming the first video for this, there was a tree, and as I walked past the tree, I saw all the leaves fall off the tree. Not physically fall off, but in my mind's eye, they all fell off the tree. And it was almost like the tree was able to then choose what kind of tree it was going to be. And it's like we get to choose in this return to the light. We get to choose who we are going to be. There's just something to do with choice. Let me just... It's like okay, there's going to be an incoming of new energy, and this is going to like push some people to kind of access memories of themselves, and this is kind of the return of the light. And it's a choice to vibrate within your signature energy, because it's going to be made like it's going to be put in your awareness. I feel that many people are going to choose to be within their signature energy. I'm being shown like people receiving downloads, but it feels like new people. It feels like people that have kind of, not new people, but I'm just saying, I'm seeing again the return of the light, and I keep seeing the back of people, and then they become light, literally become white light, and then they turn back round, and then they go back into the everyday life. But it's like they go back into everyday life receiving downloads, and it's not like they have to share these downloads. It's more so it's to do with the grid, like the grid of Earth and the ley lines of Earth, that it's almost like we act as satellites and points for the Earth and the awakening of Earth. Let's pull a card from Nature's Whispers. I don't know why, I'm not sure, but I'm getting an Ascended Master. That Joseph is an Ascended Master. I don't know if he is, but that's what's coming. Laughter. Ideal course of action. Okay. So again, there's this energy of being able to choose. Oh my God. And then we have make a decision underneath that. And then we have be your best self. So, sorry, they all are making sense to me, and with what I've already been saying, that we have the ability to choose who we are, what we are, where we are heading, to vibrate within our signature energy, which is why it's saying to be your best self always. Joseph, what have you got to say? I'm getting that it's been a long time coming. He's saying that his son worked very hard. Okay. And he's saying that his son worked very hard at anchoring energy, and now I'm getting anchoring Christ consciousness. He's saying that it's he's giving me the phrase where it's like you may plant a seed, you plant a seed now, not to harvest its fruits now basically, but to harvest it whenever to come. And it's like Jesus came to plant the seeds for times of now. It's like since the time of Jesus, there's been this evolution of consciousness. And it's like the animals are waiting for us. If you can see them in the back here, looking at this woman, they're waiting for us to step into our divinity, to step into who we have always been and who they know us to be. It's like when humans are in harmony, when we are in vibrational alignment with like everything and source, that the animals will be different. It's almost that they work with us rather than against us. But whilst we are working against ourselves, they're not in vibrational alignment with us either. That's why that's why humans are in danger when they're around wild animals. I'm getting it doesn't have to be like that. We can work together. But until we step into our divinity, until we step into our God self, there's going to be a disconnect between the animal kingdom and the human kingdom. Okay, let's pull from the Moonology Oracle deck. See what Joseph has to say with this deck. Confidence is your key to success. He's saying that Mary had beautiful hair. And it's funny because obviously her hair's covered and I'm seeing white hair and something to do with that, the reflection of light when it comes to, oh my god, I'm getting that her hair was covered, and I'm just getting what energy is given to me. It's like underneath her headscarf, and this could all just be symbolic. The hair was white, and when the light reflected off it, it was almost like she was an angel. And can you see that light in the mirror? I didn't even notice it until I was just speaking on the reflection. And it's like, if her hair wasn't covered, that people would have literally thought she was a walking angel. It's almost like she was a walking angel, really, because she was the mother of Christ. A win-win outcome is forecast. I feel that all the work that we have been doing as a species, as light workers, it's all being for the greater good, and we're getting to a point of balance when it comes to light and dark. And when they are balanced and when they are on the same level, I'm seeing that they are then able to merge and become one. And that is the goal when it comes to like unity consciousness and Christ consciousness. It's to bring everything into one, into wholeness, into union, rather than having light and dark, and the light being here and the dark being hidden. It's about having acknowledgement of both, having both meet on the same level, and marrying the two, and becoming whole, and realizing that you are light, you are dark, you are happiness, you are sadness, you are pain, you are joy, you are beauty, you are heartache, you are love, you are fragile, you are strong, you are peaceful, and you are restless. At times you may be demonic, and at times you may be angelic, but it's about understanding that you are everything and everything. And when you bring that into oneness, that's when you can have freedom. When you're not hiding away from any aspect of yourself, that's when you can have freedom. I think we're going to leave this video here. And thank Joseph for his energy, for his teachings, for his guidance, for his messages. And thank you for being present with me, for watching this video. I send you peace and love and gratitude. Ashe.